Low-tech illegal migration in action on the Suchiate River. For just over $1 a head, homemade pontoons ferry people and goods between Guatemala and Mexico. Much of this traffic commerce, avoiding taxes, but also a popular way for migrants to head to the United States. No one here to stop it yet. A few miles away, the beginnings of what Mexico has promised Donald Trump. Marines watch over immigration workers checking vehicles. Every now and then, an illegal immigrant's dream shattered or at least interrupted, taken away to detention and processing centres. At this one checkpoint, sometimes 100 dreams a day end this way. The Mexican government Friday outlined its plan to curb immigration. Thousands of National Guard, police and others will be in place by Tuesday at several key places along the border, trying to arrest what Mexico's foreign minister said was a $6 billion a year trafficking industry that even involves children being rented to migrants to improve their chances of getting into the U.S.
Let's all work together to disarm traffickers. This is slavery we're talking about here.
At a migrant processing centre in the town of Tapachula, they queue, sometimes for days, sleeping on the streets with little children, waiting for a piece of paper that will allow them to stay in Mexico, at least temporarily. Among them we find Elkin Santos and his 3-year-old daughter, Alison Brigi, hoping to get into the US, his story typical of so many here.
I fled from the MS-13 gang because I received threats when they came to charge me a tax.
Did you think they would kill you?
Exactly. So I took my daughter and left. It's easier to get to me through her.
Mexican authorities tell us in the first 12 days of this month, nearly 12,000 migrants arrived here in Mexico, and that's just a drop in the bucket, obviously. They tell us horror stories of what they fled, family members killed in gang violence and so on. So much fear that most of them won't talk on camera, but they will talk privately, and the stories are tragic. The one thing they have in common is a determination to keep going.
Nobody is going to stop. Migration will never stop. It's like someone trying to stop crime, trying to take away air, trying to do something that is impossible. They'll never stop this.
Michael Holmes, Tapachula, Mexico.
So here's the thing, blackouts have been completely normal for the last several years in Venezuela. You'll be sitting there in the middle of Caracas and everything will go dark and everything will turn off. Everything. Immediately the traffic lights go out all around Caracas. The subway system, which is the main artery going through Caracas, it is really the only system of transportation. It didn't work for days. One hospital in Caracas, the ventilators, they were operating manually. One hospital in particular that we visited did not have any backup powers, no water, no anything. And they literally sent, at least half of the patients were sent home because they decided that the hospital at that point in time was a much more dangerous place to be than at home. One of the little girls, she was born during the blackout on March 9th. When her mother brought her in and she gave birth, she could just tell something wasn't quite right. The doctors suspected meningitis but did not know. The anguish on the woman's face was very, very clear, and she plaintively said each time, "No, I didn't name her." Power is no longer a thing that you take for granted at any point in time in Venezuela anymore.
President Nicolas Maduro has announced a 30-day plan to ration electricity.
Venezuelans were calling it the new normal. This is their life. At any point in time, the power will completely abandon you and you will have nothing. The thing that gets me about this story is that I come from a very modest background. My parents always knew that they could take me to a hospital and people would care for me. Venezuelans no longer have that guarantee. Parents will tell you that they are terrified of their children getting sick, because if their kids get sick, they know they will have no help. Humanitarian aid and the conditions of the hospitals is very political in Venezuela. President Nicolas Maduro has always said, "No somos mendigos de nadie." We are not beggars, and that is what has kept people from getting any food or medicine or anything else that they need in Venezuela. There are so many different places that I visited on the planet, absolutely debilitating wars and conflict. There is no war in Venezuela. It's just been devastating for me as a reporter to see it unravel this way.